Hi everyone, Daisy here again with another layout for SHIMMERZ. Today I am using the Stella flower cut file and I'm creating a sort of fall themed layout. My picture isn't particularly fall, but it kind of is. You'll see that in a minute. So I am going to be using a lot of different products here. So I'm going to try to keep up. If not, I will have a link to the blog post where they will all be listed out, and that will be down below. So the first red color that I'm using is a colorings, which means it is pigmented without shimmery stuff in it. And it is in Scarlet's Fever. So that one right there is Scarlet's Fever. And I am just painting this directly on. Now this is some 100-pound cardstock, so it's really thick. However, I did not prep it with gesso or anything because it's not getting super wet. So yeah. I'm using, I think 12 different colors, maybe close to that. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to do my best to keep up. So this first kind of yellow color I'm using is it's a creamies. So also does not have shimmer in it. It is just highly pigmented, and it is in Dandelion, one of my favorite yellows. And then this kind of orangey red color that I'm using is Gosh Garnet, and it is an inkling. So it is pigmented and it has shimmer, and this one in particular has a gold shimmer, so it makes it look orange when it dries, which is really fantastic. This orange color I'm using now is a creamies called My Clementine. So no shimmer on that one, but the colors are gorgeous. So I am just leaving this right on my mat because it makes it easier. They don't slide around as much. So okay, so the first color, greenish color I was using, that one there is called Refreshment, and that is a creamies, so that is not shimmery. But I'm also using this color here, which is it's Meant to Be, which is an original SHIMMERZ. That one is super shimmery. My pot, unfortunately, is a little dry because I've had it for a while, so I just spray water in there to reactivate it. And then I felt like I wanted it to be a little bit darker in some areas, so I did add some of the Teal the End of Time, which is an original SHIMMERZ, just for some layering colors there. Now I'm moving on to the more yellow colors, and I'm using, like, these are kind of golden yellow, I guess, and this first one I'm using, I believe, is the Sunflower. Oh, or wait a minute, no. The first one I used, yes, is the Sunflower. And so that's a SHIMMERZ product, so it's very shimmery. The second one I used is called Gold Glimmer. No. Yes, Gold Glimmer is the second gold one I used. And now I'm moving on to some brown ones. And so I'm using the original SHIMMERZ in Coffee, a Blings in Spiced Spiced Cider, and then an Inklings in Tarnished Treasure. Now the Spiced Cider and the Tarnished Treasure actually are very similar, which I didn't quite realize. One of them has more of a iridescent shimmer in it, and the other one has kind of a, like, I would say more of a silver shimmer in it, but I'm fine with it. They look fine together. Like, they look really good stacked up together. So now for the cut file, there are 3 pieces that you get. You get 2 large 6-petal flowers, 2 of the I I think it's 7-petaled flowers, which are the smaller ones, and then you're supposed to get some that roll up for the center, and I chose not to do the ones that roll up. I just didn't want to use them. Like, there is no good reason for not using them. I just chose to use these parts of the flowers. So, and now I'm just going in and mixing some of the colors up together to give some added dimension around, make them look a little bit different, because, you know, no two flowers are exactly the same. So I'm just trying to add some of that layering and shading to them. And now I did cut a few extra flowers just because I thought maybe I need some you know, space fillers, and so I'm just kind of randomly picking colors and painting them in. My paints I did not water down too much because I didn't want, like, I wanted them to be pretty pigmented, so I didn't go too crazy with the, like, adding too much water or anything. And so here everything is dried and pulled off my mat, and now I'm just going to assemble my flowers. I love the way they look. They are so pretty and so shimmery. And I'm just going to stack them up, and I'm going to do light colors. Halfway through doing this, I'm like, ooh, I should have mixed up the colors, but oh well. It was too late. I wasn't going to start just like in the middle. But yeah, you can see how, like, some of the colors are similar, but like one will be shiny and one is matte, and I am in love with these flowers so much. And it's just so easy to put together. I'm just using a little glue dot. You could easily use, you know, whatever glue you have, liquid glue or whatever, but the glue dot worked really well. And it also gives it just a tiny bit of dimension in between the flowers. So, and I pulled out some sequins too that I wanted to use as the centers of my flowers. I was just going to use some yellow ones in the center of each one, but I decided to mix it up. So I used like a gold one in the center, or not a gold, I'm sorry, an orange one in the centers of those two kind of orangey red flowers. Now I am clustering together 4 different yellow sequins for the center of the yellow flowers. The brown one is getting a black center. And these sequins are from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and the sequin mix that I'm using is called Black Eyed Susan, the first one, and then this one that I'm using now is called Wine Country. And I just wanted a blue one to put in the center of the blues, and then there's some little gold sequins in here. Well, they're not little, but there's gold sequins, and so all of my extra flowers are getting a gold sequin in the center. Since they're not layered up, they're just single flowers. And just getting that stuff down, and then I'll be ready to start on my layout. So I am using a sketch for today because I am doing a 30 days of sketches with Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. So I am using a sketch, and it has 2 like triangle shapes as kind of the design element for this page. And so I am going to follow that part of it, and then kind of, well, I mean, you can definitely see the sketch, but then I kind of I get the triangle bits on there, and then I just do my own thing, basically. You can still see the sketch, like I said, but I didn't directly follow it after this point. So I'm using 2 of these papers. These came in a Hip Kit club kit from September, and they are both from Crepe Paper Marigold collection. And I wanted to use that dark green with the florals on it because I thought that that was perfect with the flowers that I cut. The colors are all in there and were definitely an inspiration, although I didn't realize maybe that that's where I got my inspiration from for the color choices. But like, I didn't do a pink one, so, you know. Now I'm going to stitch on my layout, and I'm going to use some gold thread. This is the worst gold thread I have ever owned. And this is from Sewology, yep, which is the Hobby Lobby like brand or whatever. And it is the thinnest, like, ickiest thread ever, and it continually breaks. I'm actually trying to find my good thread here. That's why I kind of disappeared for a minute, and I'm not able to find it, so I have to use this crappy stuff. Luckily, it only breaks one time while I'm sewing on this layout, but yeah, usually it's multiple times, and it's so frustrating. So I'm just going to go slow. I increase my stitch length so that you can see more of the thread instead of more of the holes. I feel like when they're closer together, you can see the holes a lot more. And so I increase the stitch length so that it's a little bit longer. And then this is a side where it's going to break, but not until I'm like almost done. So then I'm going to have to go around this piece twice just to kind of fix the mess up, I guess. And there I am rethreading it. I knew it was going to happen. I was going super fast, so I figured, you know, it was my own fault. If I would have gone slow, it probably wouldn't have happened. But yeah, so almost finished with this, and then we'll get to adding on my photo and then putting the flowers back on. And I was kind of kicking myself afterwards because I wanted to do some like tangled thread, you know, like Missy does. I always forget though. So yeah, I was going to do some tangled gold thread, but I totally forgot about that by the time I get done. But it's fine because I absolutely love how this turns out. So I have those down, and then I'm going through my photos. I kind of pick out a bunch of photos that I'm interested in using for the month, and then, you know, each layout I go through and try to pick out which one I want to use. And I have this one. This is my youngest daughter, and it has a Snapchat filter on it, and it is like a fall theme Snapchat filter, so there's leaves, I think, falling around her head. And so I definitely wanted to use this one. And I'm using some of this tissue paper that my kit came wrapped in, and it goes really well with that dark green paper. Pull some of that darkness over onto the side of the layout, and then just trimming that down. I hate trimming down tissue paper. It's so hard. I thought I could do it with my little trimmer, and that didn't work, and then when I taped it together it got all wonky, and I'm like, alright, I'm just going to try to cover up the areas that didn't turn out right. So I'm going to pop my photo up on some fun foam and then start just putting the flowers down around it. And I do end up covering a lot of both of the pattern papers that I use, but you can definitely still see them in the background, and it helped me kind of create this shape with the flowers. And the colors are just so great on this, and it's kind of hard to tell because my lights are super bright, but the shimmer is just amazing. I just have to say, like, it is stunning. I love it. So I kept bouncing back and forth between clusters because I wasn't sure if I wanted them to meet in the middle or how far I wanted things to go out, and so you're going to see me kind of mess around with that. I definitely wanted to see the point of each one of the triangles just so that you could tell it was a triangle. And then that's the layout of the flowers. So then I'm going to add some more embellishments and fun little things to this layout. I use quite a bit of things actually. So I pulled out, this is the Pink Fresh collection that came in the hip kit for September, and so I pull out some things I was going to use, those little like branch twig things or whatever, but I don't actually end up using those. Instead, I'm going to go for some leaves. Like that one I just put down there is a purple one, there's a dark green one, and then I find a little brown one. Or actually it's kind of a big brown one. So I do pull off those other like branch things. I think I leave them there for a little while though, thinking I'm going to use them. And I definitely could have. I mean, they matched perfectly, but no, I pull them off. So then I am going to use the freebie that I got in a recent order, and it says, I believe in you. And it is it's a dots, which are the amazing like enamel flare. And I love these as an alternative to flare because I will not use flare, like regular metal flare on my layouts because they rust. And I don't know if it's just the weather where we are or what, but yeah, so I don't like the regular ones. But then I pulled a couple of the chipboard flare from the Pink Fresh collection and also tucked those around the layout. And now I'm adding some gold little leaf sprigs, and that's when I'm going to take off those other cardstock ones. And then I pulled out this crepe paper Magical Forest? Yeah, Magical Forest collection sticker sheet because it has some really cute things that I thought would work really well. And so I used that little flag up there that says, "Oh my darling," and it had the like perfect colors in it. And actually maybe that's all that I use off of that. I try to use a couple of things, but I think that's all I get on there. And then I'm trying to figure out what I want my title to be because I realized I haven't put one on there. So I'm going to use some of the Truly Grateful little word thickers and spell out adore you in like this kind of copper gold color. It goes really well with like the Gosh Garnet shimmers and the brown ones. I really like that together. And overall, I'm just loving how this layout is looking. It's like soft and girly, and yet it has some like dark colors on it, and yeah, it's just, I really like it. So here you're going to see me try to figure out what I'm going to use as my title. And then where am I going to put it? So I was thinking about using favorite and putting it over here, but nope, don't like that. So then I was going to stick it down where you just saw me put it, and wasn't going to like that, so I decided to put it up here because I felt like it brought the two sides of the page together a little bit more. And then to finish everything off, I'm going to do splatters in 4 different colors. And so I'm going to use this one, which is Gold Glimmer. Yeah, I'm going to say it's Gold Glimmer, which is a Blings. I'm also going to use the Sunflower Shimmers, the Teal the End of Time Shimmers, and Spiced Cider Blings. So all of these are shimmery. They're all like original recipes, I guess. So they come pre-liquefied so that you don't have to spray any water in there. And I wanted that just because I wanted something simple. And also these dry, like they are very thick paints if you don't water them down. And so they dry with a little bit, it kind of reminds me of enamel dots. So they have a little bit of dimension and a little bit of like body to them. So I really like using these for splatters. So again, just sprinkling it all around. I'm using the end of a paintbrush to stir it up because I couldn't, well, because my palette was dirty, or my palette knife was dirty, and I didn't want to clean it, so. But yeah, so that's pretty much the end of my layout. I want to thank you so much for watching. Again, I'll have a link down to the blog down below, and that will have links to all of the products that I use, so you can go check them out for yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's really one of my favorite ones that I've made so far this month, And yeah, I will see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.